Ehi, ehi, ehi.
Sì, no, anche le camere. Diciamo così, tu mi chiami col suo nome e io chiamo lui col tuo, così sì, comunque possiamo anche dire. Dietro il PDF ma devi fare il semafono privato. Sì, ma è difficile anche per anche tu mi devi fermo, io manovro di qua va sì, sì, no, mandicelo tu l'audio, c'è un link, c'è lei.
Bisogna attivarla, altrimenti non arriva un cazzo. No, non è così, si disattiva ogni volta. Ah. Parlo perché è già successo che abbiamo perso mezz'ora di audio. Ah, sì, 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 sì.
Okay, good morning. We are going to start in 1 minute. Thanks. Well, good morning and welcome to this event on the sustainable blue economy of Libya within the framework of the 7th edition of Seafuture, the largest Italian venue on maritime technologies. It is a pleasure to organize such an event, and I would like for this to thank first of all the Westmed initiative and which has ended also the Seafuture organization, the European Enterprise Network Consortium ALPS, which is particularly present here in La Spezia with its Chamber of Commerce, Riviera di Liguria, and the think tank Eiead. I would like to let's say start already this event remembering that of course Westmed is the initiative which of the European Commission DG Mare, which is giving an agenda on blue economy common to the countries of the 5+5 dialogue and supporting through an assistance mechanism the implementation of such agenda towards the stakeholders, public and private. Of course, this event finds its rationale within the co-presidency of the Westmed initiative in 2021, shared among Italy and Libya. And this is the reason why we have today the pleasure to have beside me, as you see, Daniele Bosio, National Coordinator of Italy for Westmed and Westmed co-president this year, and Alicia Grune, National Coordinator for Libya and also Westmed co-president this year. So shortly, I would like immediately to pass the floor to the Italian embassy in Tripoli, that I would like to thank in particular for having concretely made possible this event, for the fundamental role of connection and support we have benefited of. And I would like to pass the floor to Michele Rossi, Deputy Ambassador of Italy in Libya. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Very well, thank you.
Thank you. I just would like at the outset to bring to you the greetings of Ambassador Buccino, who and his excuses because he can't be here with you owing to previous engagements. As you know, the political situation here in Libya is quite complicated at the moment, so there are many meetings between the stakeholders. So I'm here on behalf of Ambassador Buccino, and I would like to thank the organizer, the Westmed initiative, and the Seafuture for this event, this occasion that is quite timely, quite useful on a theme that is really relevant for Italy and Libya. The blue economy, the sustainable development of blue economy, is really one of the themes that link our two countries. And it's really timely because, as you know, Libya has just ratified the Paris Agreement and will take part this year in COP26. So it is in a moment where Libya is really in this theme of sustainable development has been engaged, especially this year. It's really an appropriate, also a timely event, an appropriate event, because Libya, as you well know, has a big potential in this field, in the blue economy. You know, Libya has 1,700 kilometers of coast. So his potential that has not been developed so far, has not been well developed so far, is really a big potential that also in the framework of this initiative, for example, can be properly developed. This year is also a good year, a good moment, because we are coming out of many global crises, and also Libya, the country is coming out of a double crisis, because in 2019, 2020, there was war on Tripoli, and after that the pandemic hit all the world. Now Libya is seeing a recovery from especially from last year, that was really from the economic point of view a really terrible year, because the GDP of Libya has a decrease of 25%. So this year is really a good year. The economy is recovering in Libya. There is a new government. I think that our Libyan friends here in this event will talk about that. There is more stability, so it's really the right moment to start talking about and discussing about these issues of the blue economy and the sustainable development. And this is also important from the economic point of view, because Libya is trying for many years, but now is even more timely to diversify his economy, because, as you know, it's largely dependent of oil and gas, the economy of Libya. But now is a time to try to diversify the economy, and the potential in the blue economy is really a big potential. So it's really timely to try to discuss and to unleash all this potential that is in Libya. In Libya, there are many stakeholders, many fishermen, many economic operators that can cooperate and can provide and can develop this on this team. Also, here in the embassy, we met a lot of these stakeholders, especially recently in this year, where the economic situation has improved, when also the stability has improved. We met many stakeholders that can really provide an assistance in this respect. So I'm really keen. I'm really willing to hear the discussion this morning. And again, I'm thanking all the organizers and all the stakeholders, Libyan and Italian, that are present here. So thank you very much. I'm really looking forward to the discussion. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rossi, and again, thank you for the strong support in all the organizational aspect of our event, and also for the future follow-ups, which are already taking concrete implementation here in La Spezia with this event. I take the occasion to remind that we are also on streaming on the YouTube channel of Seafuture, and I pass immediately the floor to the representative of European Commission DG Mare, Manuel Plegoselo. Please, Manuel, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Hi, buongiorno, and good morning to everyone. And thanks for inviting and count on the European Commission from DG Mare. Well, it's a pleasure to join this meeting, this event, trying to involve more in depth and better Libyan stakeholders in the development of the blue economy and the engagement of this blue economy initiative, which is called Westmed. I think that first of all, we need to focus on the involvement that Libya has had from the very beginning, because it has been an active part of the dialogue 5+5, which is the origin of this Westmed initiative, even with a specific status also in the framework of the Union for the Mediterranean as an observer. But Libya has also been engaged in and supporting and joining the different ministerial declarations. So 2015, we have the first ministerial declaration on blue economy coming from the Union for the Mediterranean, which gave origin to the Westmed initiative with this now 3 goals on maritime security, smart and resilient blue economy, and a better governance of the sea. And in all this process, Libya has been present, and despite the complicated situation, there was stakeholders supporting and getting active from the different declarations. In 2017, the Westmed initiative issued a ministerial declaration approving the governance and the management structure, called the Naples Declaration. In 2018, in Algiers, there was also different declaration adopting the roadmap and the 6 priorities of this initiative, fostering the blue economy in the Western Mediterranean area, and also establishing the steering committee as the main body of the governance. And I want to focus on in all this process, given that there was a complicated, difficult situation, but Libya has been present in all this development. And arriving to the current year, 2021, I have to remark, first of all, in February, the publication of or the adoption of a new ministerial declaration issued by the Union for the Mediterranean, focused on blue economy. Libya has also been there, as I said, as a specific status as observer, and its declaration set the scene for a diversified and sustainable blue economy in the Mediterranean, recognizing the work of this cooperation framework, which are the sea basin strategies. And Westmed is recognized as one of the sea basin strategies, even though it's related only for the western part of the whole Mediterranean. Also this year, the European Commission adopted a joint declaration of a renewed partnership with the southern neighborhood. So Libya is quietly and broadly concerned about that and involved in that. The European Commission and partners, it's said in this communication, we need to work together to benefit from the growth in the twin transition. We always talk about the green and the digital transition. And we have to go aligned to set these different objectives, and this is a recognition of the sectorial dialogues coming from the Union for the Mediterranean. We need to integrate coherently this blue economy approach and this blue economy potential for the planning of the upcoming years. But apart of this joint declaration about the new partnership with the southern neighborhood countries, there's also this year in May 2021, the European Commission, specifically DG Mare, published a new communication with a new approach, a new perspective of that we called before the blue growth. Now we call it sustainable blue economy, absolutely aligned with the European Green Deal and with the recovery post-COVID, because we think that the blue economy can be a pertinent response to those challenges. And as the representative of the embassy was saying before, it's timely now to use the potential of blue economy for this economic recovery. In this sustainable blue economy communication, we call for a transformation of all the value chains in the blue economy, aligned with the European Green Deal, decarbonization, the pollution, climate adaptation, biodiversity, but also it recalls that the European Union will continue to support the cooperation, developing training strategies for each sea basin. So focusing on this kind of sea basin strategies, such as the Westmed, and extending the same approach to the neighbor countries, because we share the sea basin, we share the marine resources, we share the geoeconomic features. Mediterranean is a shared sea, and we need to assist to non-EU countries in diversifying the blue economy. So just for finishing, currently, after this political framework, Libyan representatives are absolutely involved in the different strands of the works of the Westmed initiative. We have created, there are different specific topics for working, technical groups on transport, on green shipping, a new technical group also in aquaculture with Libyan representatives. And there are specific projects, we can say, for instance, in maritime spatial planning, managed by the International Oceanographic Center of the UNESCO and funded with the European Maritime and Fisheries Fund. This project counts on Libya as one of the beneficiaries countries, or also linked to the training for the Coast Guard made by EFCA, also a project funded by the European Maritime and Fisheries Fund. Previously it was called FIUFRA, and now we are also preparing a new virtual training academy, the Med, for officers against illegal, unregulated, and unreported fishing. And Libya is one of the beneficiaries of this project. And lastly, this week, with this European Maritime Fisheries and Aquaculture Fund, it has been launched a new call for projects on sustainable tourism, and absolutely Libya is eligible, and it's we are looking forward to obtain consortiums to submit projects with Libyan stakeholders. So there's a lot of future ahead. There's a great, I hope that this meeting, this event will be a great fruitful opportunity to look ahead. We are also preparing the neighborhood policy funding, and it's another opportunity to include blue economy in the development of Libya. And as I said, I hope that with this new situation, a better situation, that Libyan representatives and Libyan stakeholders will benefit fully of the potential of this cooperation framework, which is the Westmed initiative. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Manuel. Very, very good. Also, the synthesis of all these opportunities that we shall also show into detail with a later also intervention by the assistance mechanism, Thanos Manis, who is here in presence. I pass immediately the floor to the two co-presidents of Westmed here, Daniele Bosio from Italian Foreign Ministry and Alicia Grune from the Libyan Ministry of Marine Wealth. And I would like also to underline the importance for a country like Libya to have a dedicated ministry to the marine wealth. So I would like to pass the floor to Daniele Bosio and then to Alicia Grune. Thank you.
Thank you, Leonardo. Thank you to the Embassy of Italy, to the colleague, and to Manuel from the European Commission. Thank you to all. Thank you above all to Alicia Grun, who has been working with us with the Italian co-presidency for the whole 2021, and it is a very important fact that we share this co-presidency in this specific period. I'm also very happy that we managed to hold this forum here in La Spezia in presence. The forum is the testimony that the Italian-Libyan co-presidency of the Westmed initiative is working well, and that's something important to say as far as cooperation between the two shores of the Mediterranean are concerned. I'm also very jealous that Libya has a Ministry of Marine Wealth, which means that they take blue economy seriously and trying to tap all potentials that this specific sector has to offer to the development of the country. We worked, of course, very well with our other colleagues of Morocco in 2020, but the Libyan co-presidency, I think, as a dimension of hope for the future that we create for a long time. We know all that the sea, the coastal areas, the marine activities are playing a crucial role now and in the future of the Mediterranean and of its citizens. The seas are a source of healthy food, we know that, and they provide the basis for economic activities, and they generate growth and jobs. This is very important. In this specific time where we have to come back from the crisis, we need to find resources to develop and to reanimate the life of our countries. And Libya has a lot to say on maritime issues, from maritime transport, infrastructures, fisheries and aquaculture, maritime vocational training, and even coastal tourism. All these sectors hold a considerable untapped potential, and the fulfillment of this potential will depend on the establishment of a strong management framework devised in accordance with clearly defined overall sector strategies and development plans. That's why in this framework, cooperation is paramount to accelerate progress and fill the gap that has unfairly restrained in the past the sustainable development of the blue economy in Libya. In this context, the Western Mediterranean has a crucial role in the rich relationship between Europe and the Maghreb countries. We know that. We've been developing this path for many years, since 2017, when the Westmed initiative was founded for the first time. The Westmed is a peaceful area of cooperation that connects Africa and Europe through one of the most important lines of communication, which is in the world, which is the Mediterranean, which connect the Atlantic and the Indo-Pacific. Many talk about the Mediterranean as the sea between the land, and it is actually a sea between seas also. The European Union, the sponsor, let's say, and the godmother of the Westmed initiative, puts the highest priority to the sustainable development of the blue economy, also through the Green Deal, an ambitious package of measures aiming at reducing the greenhouse gas emissions, investing in cutting-edge research and innovation, and preserving natural environment. The European Green Deal should inspire also the activity of the Westmed, and it will underpin a new, strong strategy that aims to transform the economy and the society for a more sustainable future. Research and innovation is a fundamental pillar of this European response, and we want it to be a Mediterranean response. We need to make sure that this commitment extend to the Mediterranean by gathering our best resources in the field of research, innovation, and education. If we want to transfer all these principles and policies into concrete actions, we have to think in concrete. In particular, for example, aquaculture is the next step of Mediterranean Westmed cooperation, and it translated into the creation in April of a technical group within the Westmed initiative, focusing on concrete initiatives aimed at creating job opportunities and income-generating investment projects. Another important area of actions include the development of cooperation within maritime clusters. We saw it 2 days ago in this same room. This means to support a stronger alliance across maritime sectors, maritime clusters in the Western Mediterranean, a network that would provide a strong platform to further define project ideas, expand commercial relations with regional clusters, including non-maritime clusters, which are anyway relevant for the blue economy. So expand the network beyond the very strict maritime sector, promote capacity building and share good practice and foster matchmaking and pinning activities with financing actors, which are there. We know that the number, we saw even a few days ago, that a number of programs from the European Union can provide financing. Especially, it is important that Libya soon start the process to access any CBC Next Med program in order to benefit from the financing opportunity provided by the European Union and to maximize the effect on investment and cooperation at regional level. We have many other challenges to face, and Libya open in the next, which will open further and further in the next future. I can assure you that the blue economy, just like other sectors of cooperation in the blue economy, Italy and the West partner will be here to lend a hand to Libya and work together. Thank you.
Thank you, Daniele, and thank you for all the effort and support we receive from you in all our actions. I would like to underline that thanks to this strong joint work that we have been doing, we have been able to foster an agreement among the two national Italian clusters, which is for us a strategic instrument to make the position of European Union and of course Italy in particular, but not only, in the middle of the Mediterranean. And for this reason, I would like also to thank also Mr. Ali Shagrune for joining us today. And I would like Mr. Shagrune to pass you the floor exactly right now. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, on this occasion, I would like to thank you for Seafuture events and the city of La Spezia and the Westmed committee. And I would like also to pay tribute to the efforts made by the Italian government and also La Spezia city and Westmed committee. We also there is debate. The blue economy is one of the cornerstones in support of sustainable economic development in the countries. You know that Libya, more than 90%, 95% of the Libyan national income come mainly from oil and gas. The national strategy and direction meant the diversify national income source and create other resources to reduce the total dependence on oil and gas. And marine wealth as a promising sector to both the national economy has been implemented several projects, the most important of which is the development of the marine fishing sector in various parts. Libya also signed a joint cooperation agreement with FAO, including 17 projects. 3 of them develop the marine wealth, development of fishing and aquaculture, production, information system, establishment of monitoring and control system for fishing resource, development of national capacity in aquaculture and fishing hatchery. The state of Libya is also seeking to enjoy convention of the prevention of overfishing under the Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO. Libya has long sought strengthened the legislative framework for protection and development of marine wealth. The most important legislation in this area is the Protection of Marine Resource Act of 1989. 1989. The law for the protection and improvement of the environment has been issued with the aim preventing pollution of all kinds, including protection the beach, sea, water, and water resource from pollution, maintenance of the balance living organism, and achieving sustainable development that meet the need of present generation without harming the need of a future generation. Despite the success in this area, many promising investment opportunity appear. For example, establishment of cannon plan and conservation of fishing and aquaculture for purpose of domestic consumption and export, manufacturing of fishing boats, development of marine tourism, development marine ports in line with progress made in this field. The Libyan state has not only focused on development the legislative framework, but also on the institution framework. In this regard, a scientific center has been established, which is one of the most important centers in North Africa. It is the center of marine life, which is mainly concerned with development of the horizon and method of scientific research in this field. And in closing, we talk this opportunity to understand our commitment to making the utmost offer in the path of achieving sustainable development, of which the blue economy is one of the most important tributaries. And we also invite all the Italian company and Western company to continue and back to Libya after finish the war and continues the project. That's very important for us and for Italian and for all West country. So thank you very much for this.
Thank you very much, Mr. Shagrune. I pass immediately the floor to Mr. Ahmed Omar Faraj, Director of International Cooperation at Ministry of Tourism in Tripoli. Please, Mr. Faraj, the floor is yours.
Good morning to you all. I'm passing the greeting for the Libyan government to Blue Economy Committee and the Seafuture organizers, and to everyone participating in this event to make it a success. I would like to thank you all. My friend Ali Shagrun covered the technical issues, so I'm going to be more of a politician here. As you know, Libya facing many difficulty and a lot of problems, political and even an armed conflict as well. So we're asking all our friends to participate, helping us in this matter. Accordingly, each one in his sector. And I will take the chance here to announce the Libyan-Italian Blue Economy Expo in Tripoli, 8th of December to the 10th of December. So hopefully the Italian company and Italian brothers participating. And even if they can't participate, we can arrange to make the participation through the Zoom or whatever they decide to do so. What we need to think, as I said, I'm going to talk as a politician here differently now, especially after the corona pandemic now. The planet comes as one small village. So anything affecting me will affect you. If you don't think outside of the box, not just focusing on your own problem, I will affect you with my problems. So we need to think now differently. We need to see what's going on in Libya, how to help to make a sustainable environment in Libya. If we can't do that, it will back on us with whatever you call it, a profit, a projects, name it. I'm going to take the opportunity here to talk about the Libyan-Italian relations. You talk about thousands of years. You're not talking about a few days. So the threat is there. When we talk about the Libyan case now, we see the Russian is there, the Chinese in the backyard, and many countries with their own conflict, not interest. They don't creating an equal interest. Actually, they came there with no plan, and it make it chaos. So everybody blaming the Libyans now. They don't sit to each other and talk to each other and make it happen. Actually, it's the outside interfering, which is create all this. Corrupted politicians, name it, with power and money, they make all these problems happening in Libya. So hopefully we seek from the Italian embassy and from the Italian partners and with your help here, the Blue Economy Committee, to loudly participate and say, we are here and we want peace and we want Libya stable again, so we can build something together for the future generations, not even for ourselves. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Mr. Faraj. This is very, very interesting. And as a Westmed, let me also say that we are seeing also interesting progresses in other countries of the Southern Shore, like Tunisia, which is, of course, having an important also role in its technical assistance towards Libya, and particularly within the Westmed initiative and the Maritime Cluster Alliance, we have created Tunisia is the very active in establishing a maritime cluster at Maghreb level within the Union of Maghreb Arab. From this point of view, we have here Mr. Ezzedine Kassem, who is the president of the cluster of Tunisia. Maritime cluster. I don't know if President Kassem just wants to give a short message on this before that we fastly pass to the next session, since we are basically on time. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Leonardo. Thank you for to invite for this event between Libya and Italy. So just I want to say something that about the Maghreb Union cluster. We hope that our friends in Libya active the maritime cluster of Libya, and we are here to cooperate together with Mr. Shakroun and all the partners in Libya in different sector, maritime sector. So I hope that to continue after Mauritania. Since 2 months, they made their maritime cluster. Tunisia and Morocco also they have the opportunity to make their maritime cluster. So we hope that Algeria and Libya, as soon as possible, to make their and to establish their maritime cluster, to continue to establish Union Maghreb Arab cluster as soon as possible, and that's the most important thing. This will be a good thing to cooperate between the south and the north of the Mediterranean Sea. So the maritime cluster of Tunisia put the experience, all the experience of the maritime cluster of Tunisia for our friends in Libya to establish their maritime cluster as soon as possible. And I thank you for all the opportunities in this event and the cooperation between the south and the north of the Mediterranean Sea. And thank you for all the participants, for Mr. Daniel Bozio, for Mr. Shakroun, and Mr. Mounir Al-Gharibi, who is with us, and Leonardo, of course, Mr. Leonardo Manzari, who connected all this event. And thank you for all. Thank you.
Thank you, President Kassem. I will pass immediately to the next session. Of course, we had invited a larger delegation from Libya, but unfortunately, there are some COVID cases also among our planned guests, and we all wish them prompt improvement and solution of the health problems. So we go directly to the session of ongoing projects and possible cooperation projects between European and Libyan stakeholders. And I would like, we have here both in presence, like also in connection online, many stakeholders. I would like, first of all, to give the floor to Mr. Mario Bacchini, who is the CEO of Retelit Med, an Italian-Libyan joint venture, who is going to, let's say, explain us what they are doing, how they are working, and what is a successful possible strategy for working together. Please.
Good morning, everybody, and salam alaikum for our, friends from Libya and Egypt, I think, if I'm not mistaken. My name is Mario Bacchini. I'm the CEO of the joint venture called Retelit Med. It's a joint venture between an Italian operator company called Retelit and the holding company LPTSC, Libyan Post Telecommunication Information Company. I think in the local language it's called also Habida, if I'm not mistaken. And I think this is one example of the, let's say, the friendship between Italy and Libya. Of course, I was very intrigued when we're talking about how everything is connected. Everything is basically, there is an implication. I think the minister said about whatever is going to happen in one country will affect the others. I'm representing basically a technology company, if you like. So, and I'm also thinking about technology for good. So how we can basically support this amazing project. For example, the blue economy in Libya. We put in, try to provide the technology to handle that one. I think, again, technologies for good is one of the main objectives of this joint venture. What we are doing together, of course, now we signed recently some frame agreement to provide know-how and to also work together with the different sectors, the telecom sector, when it comes digitization, the road, the road towards 5G, to create also new business model. Because I think when you're talking about 5G, I think it's not really related to the consumers, but much more to the business to business. And really, I'm really excited because, of course, I've been working in Libya for many years in different positions. If I say that I feel, I consider Libya like my second home, I'm not really lying, I mean it. And I'm really looking forward to provide and support all the strategic plans to make Libya successful in all sectors when it comes to technology. Sometimes technology is the prime actor, sometimes technology is supportive for other regions. So I'm looking forward really to meet all the gentlemen and that today are on this floor. And again, it's a great pleasure. I would like to thank you also, Mr. Vincenzo, for inviting me this on the stage. And I'm excited. I mean, I truly believe that technology can make a difference if it's used in the right way. And again, once again, for giving me this chance. And I'm looking forward to see you in Libya. I'm going there very soon. And thank you again for giving me this chance.
Grazie. Thank you very much. And I also would like to pass the floor to Mr. Munir Gribi from OGS Trieste, which is the Italian Oceanographic Research Institute, which has let's say a very strong role in the Mediterranean activities of scientific and oceanographic studies, and which is particularly active, of course, for Southern Shore countries, including Libya. So I would like to ask Munir Gribi to start, and I leave him the floor. Thank you, Munir.
Thank you, Leonardo, and very pleased to be here. I really thank the Westmed initiative, the Blue Economy Initiative, for organizing this event, and also all the co-organizer of the Seafuture. Very pleased to be here, and I will immediately go to the point. So I'm very pleased to announce that we will start soon new EC project coordinated by the province of Trento and the region Friuli Venezia Giulia, and the name is Rebuild, is Research and Education Building Urban Institutions for Local Development, and it's about fisheries and aquaculture in Libya. So we will start immediately this project, and this is exactly what we are looking for. And this is built, in fact, on the Italian-Libyan cooperation. Our Ministry of Internal Affairs here in Italy, we already financially supported the project, which was a pilot action in fishery sector in Libya and economic development. So it's in somehow also to continue our support to Libyan brothers. We also taking advantage also of the presence of the European Commission DG Mare with Manuel, just to recall also our action as a coordinator of Deep Blue, which is a project financially supported by DG Mare, and also we involve Libyan colleagues, beside, of course, two institutions from Tunisia, University of Sfax and Bizerte Institution for Fisheries and Aquaculture. We have developed within the framework of the Dialogue 5+5 project called the Blue Skills, and it's exactly what we are looking for also to involve our friends from Libya. It's about the development of skills in the blue economy sector. And we have a master on sustainable blue economy and a summer school on blue growth. Unfortunately, we have few people from Libya. We have only 2 students that have participated in our master. We invite you to be maybe more active and participate more. We also very pleased to have with us President Qasim from Tunisia, just also to announce and also to, let's say, to congratulate them for what they are doing for the cluster, Tunisian cluster, together with the Italian Blue Growth National Cluster, and this memorandum of understanding that, of course, consolidate and boost the alliance for the cluster. And we wish that also, as President Qasem was saying, that Libya will take part of it. So we wish you all the best of these days, and I'm here also available for any support and collaboration in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Munir. And I believe it's very important, the project you mentioned, because it is involving the three countries we were speaking about, so Italy, Tunisia, and Libya, in an effort to provide not just to provide technical assistance, but to develop together a common also supply chain in the sustainable fishing sector and aquaculture. I see we have also Giuseppe Palma from Assoittica connected. Assoittica is the Italian association of all the supply chain related to fishery and especially aquaculture, and is the association which includes all, we would say, the technical and certification organs which are necessary to approach the market in a modern way, giving traceability, giving certification, and all modern, what is needed in modern food system. So please, Giuseppe, thank you very much for joining us, and congratulations for the May event, the first international trade food event on the supply chain of fishery and aquaculture. Thank you.
Thank you, Leonardo. I prefer to show you a presentation. You see the presentation?
Yes, yes, please.
Perfect. Thank you. I am very happy to stay here with you, and many thanks to Leonardo for this opportunity, to Westmed. I am the General Secretary of Assoittica, that is the National Association of Seafood Company, and the President of Interbranch Organization, that is the only one organization that put together all the actors of the fish supply chain. I am very happy to start this collaboration with Libya on three pillars. We represent 120 companies in Italy that generate 7 billion of turnover. But you know that that Italy import 75–80% of fish. So we need to have the great contact and collaboration with third country. The second pillar is study, research. We have a lot of collaboration to study the problem and the topics of fish supply chain in Italy, in Europe, and the third country to solve the problem and to find the solution through a connection with the actors of fish supply chain. Third pillar is competent authority. We have a good connection with the competent authority in Italy and with other competent authority that control the fish supply chain in the other country. The speaker before speak about IUU fishing is a competent authority. Health certificate of food hygiene. We need to speak with the veterinarian in the third country. I am a veterinarian too. So this is our pillar to discuss with a Libyan company and the Libyan authority. I explained to you that I am a president of Interbranch Organization. What is? Interbranch Organization is the only one interbranch organization that put together fishermen, aquaculture, industry, wholesale market, but also retailer and restaurant. So all the people that work in the fish supply chain. Leonardo, my friend Leonardo, speak about the digital seafood trade show. This is the first digital trade show in the world that we create this year. And then the last collaboration is the national network of school of chef, because we want to explain to consumer the way to eat the fish, the way to eat the Libyan product too. And to stay in the topics of this webinar, what is our collaboration for you? We are ready to collaborate with you on a lot of topics. First of all, we are a member of Iora focal point in Italy, and we have a good connection with some countries that are based on the Ocean Indian. But with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs that financing this activity, we made a training course in Oman with the authority to explain to the authority and to the company in Oman the European legislation. This training course this week we complete this training course. We are ready to start the same training course in Indonesia. We have a great collaboration with Westmed, and in Europe we have Blue Academy for professionals of the seafood industry. This is the first academia financing by the European Commission that put together the company of three countries, Spain, Italy, and Portugal. Then we organize some activity, some B2B activity. Yesterday, we have a B2B session with the Indian company, and you can see the last communication, 8th of October. We have a meeting in presence with 16 countries of Africa, from Africa. And we speak about sustainability and fish supply chain. In a few words, what is the collaboration that we can organize with you? I want to explain to you one example. This one. Last week, the European Commission changed again the health certificate. The first regulation about the health certificate to export the fish from third country to the European member states have 468 pages. The regulation for health certificate. For the third country, we elaborate a special guideline in English, and we put to the attention of the company of third country to generate the health certificate to export fish. This is one of the a lot of activity that we create and we study together with third country to facilitate the change, the trade, but above all to facilitate the respect of the European law that sometimes is difficult to understand for us. And I think that is usually sometimes is difficult to understand for the people of third country. When I speak about the people, I speak about the competent authority and for company of this country. So we are able and we are happy to give our maximum support to study together the way to work well to produce and to export fish from Libyan to Italian market. Thank you.
Thank you, Giuseppe. Thank you and congratulations also for your English, not only for your initiatives and activities. And I would like to pass the floor to one of the main Italian experts in fishery and all blue economy activities related to the human activities considering and implying preservation and conservation of the marine environment. So Mr. Franco Andaloro, with a strong experience in marine biology and fishery communities in Sicily, in Tunisia, in Libya, and almost all the Middle East. Thank you, Franco, for being with us and give us, of course, your also your suggestions about possible sustainable blue economy in Libya with our support.
Thank you very much, Leonardo. I'm a marine biologist and I represent Research Governmental Institute of Italy, of course, and ONG and the Foundation on Archaeology. For that, we are thinking that in an ecology point of view, we don't have a border in the blue economy between Italy and Europe, other Europe country and North Africa countries, because we need to manage as soon as possible the aspect related to the natural capital, the ecosystem services of the sea that the sea offers to human, and a need to make that soon because the sea conditions are in dramatic aspect now. It needs to think the aspect related to biological invasion, to overfishing, to the marine debris, mainly plastic and microplastic. And the policy in the sea make it at the country level, one country level, is not efficient. Thus, it needs to start soon with a cooperation in blue economy, mainly in the coastal tourism aspect, in the fish and aquaculture, and in the policy relating the pollution and the initiative to need to take to preserve the sea. The problem is the same. I like to remember you that in CBD, in the Convention on Biological Diversity in Korea in 2014, this area became EBSAS, Area Ecological and Biological Science, important at the planet level. For that, as a researcher at the name of my institute and the Italian scientists, we offer our cooperation to arrive as soon as possible to a joint policy. Thank you.
Thank you, Franco. We also have connected. We have here in presence also an Italian-Libyan operator since I would like more than 35 years in the sector of resources, energy resources in Libya. So maybe you may be able to describe us a bit your experience. Thanks.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Mario Bernero. my first project in Libya after graduation at university was the steel iron harbor of Misurata. So we are talking about 1881, 82, 83. And of course, at the time, Libya was not a beautiful country. I apologize for this, but I still remember that I was not able to find bread at a certain moment. So after the things improved, and I was back in Libya in 2000, because for this time, 83, 2000, I was thinking that then rumor arrived to me that Libya was improving, but sure, Eiead gave me the opportunity to participate in the construction as project manager of Melita Jetty. At that time, I realized that Libya was an interesting country. So at the end, not at the end, in the middle, I decided to open a Libyan-Italian company named Take On Libya, specialized in engineering projects for offshore platform mainly, because Take On is a worldwide famous engineering company. I think the #1, even if it is small, under Rossetti Group. But unfortunately, I was able to operate in end of 2009. So at the time, we made a lot of promotion. We made a top Tripoli oil Tripoli oil conference. And after that, I still have at home my flight ticket to go back to Libya in February 2010 or 11, now the year 11, but I never came back. Actually, in this time also we developed, thanks to the Italian government and to the fact that at the time I was in contact with the CEO of Agriculture Research Center, Mr. Farkas, we get 2 letters from him giving interest to develop 2 feasibility studies. One was for fishing farm in Cyrenaica, and the other one was a project to develop Sirte depression. These 2 projects reached the conclusion, and we get paid what we had as a grant in the planning. But from that time, Sirte development plan, I think that is freeze. And be sure that this project we were ready to present at the nel 2008, cosa hanno fatto ad Ancona con Berlusconi. Come? No. There was a G8, a G20, I don't know, in Ancona in 2008, and we were ready to present the project of Sirte, but unfortunately, Farkas got an accident. I still remember that I was in Apollonia with the Libyan delegate. Apollonia now is RINA Service, with a Libyan delegate to write 2 letters, one for Berlusconi and the other one for Farkas, in order to present this project at the G8. Unfortunately, I'm not lucky, and Farkas got an accident. And while we were there in Genova, we received the news that he died. So no letter anymore. Okay, but the fishing farm are still there. We prepare, according with the support of the FAO, already a new presentation, increased the area, not only Cyrenaica, and we had to present this presentation, I think, after Ramadan this year. Unfortunately, we talk about communication, border, easy, but unfortunately there is still the problem of visa to go to Libya, and so far it's not easy to get the visa, at least for me. If I'm still employed in Eni or Bonatti, probably I can have. Finally, now I'm working for Remotion, that is a wave radar company, which I believe is very interesting in all the application for the environmental along the shore of Libya, and not only, due to the fact that it's able to study the sediment movement, and you know that keeping in equilibrium the shoreline is nowadays mandatory. I think that I said everything.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I'm very happy to be here.
Congratulations, of course, for your experience.
I'm like a jolly in any case.
And of course, which can be, of course, precious for all our operators who are willing.
Yes, the problem that the Greece and the Turkey for me are more active than the Italian now.
Of course, and
I'm afraid that my project will be done by them.
Of course, but within a Mediterranean basin, it is quite. I find this normal. It's clear that competition is competition.
No, yes, sure, but the Italian paid and they get the feasibility.
It's okay. Thank you very much. We have also, I see Michela Cariglia from Consorzio Gargano Pesca connected with us, and she wants to describe us a cooperation project in aquaculture, sustainable aquaculture, which is involving her company and supported by a European funded project. And after that, we shall have an intervention from a Libyan operator who asked the floor, Mr. Al-Nutta, who sent us various mails. So please, Michela, the floor is yours. We are, I would say, in time. Michela? Non c'è? Okay, then Mr. Al-Nutta, if you are there, the floor is yours. Ci siamo? Ci siamo? Io ce l'avevo fino a qualche minuto fa. Va bene. Okay. Okay, in this case, I would say we pass the floor to Aldo Puleo from the managing authority of NECBC Med, so Next Med, the new name of this program, from Cagliari. And I would like Aldo to join us and to speak about the new programming period of this funding program, which is probably, as we hope, benefiting also Libya. Please, Aldo, the floor is yours. No, you have to activate your microphone, I believe. We cannot hear you. No. We can.
Can you hear me?
Now, yes.
Okay. Sorry, I just have, I always have troubles with this Mando here and remote control that sometimes give me a hard time. But anyway, thank you very much for this initiative, and thank you very much for giving me the chance to take the floor to this very interesting conversation about Libya and the opportunities that are offered for this country. I would like to mention that the program, the EU program that we are managing here in Cagliari, it is a very large program. It covers basically the entire Mediterranean area, and we do have now 15 countries on board. Libya, despite the fact that is among the eligible territories, being also in the Mediterranean Sea Basin, up to now, due to obviously the context, socio-political situation and economic situation, has not joined yet the program. And here I would like to mention that the program could be a great opportunity also for the Libyan government to start this cooperation exercise, not only with the Italian actors. I've seen today that there are many initiatives, also private initiatives and cooperation with Libyan companies and Libyan actors and between the Libyan government and the Italian government. But I think that the ENI-CBC, the future NextMed program could be an opportunity. Just 2 words on this type of program. It belongs obviously to the, it is part of the European Neighborhood Policy, and the main objective is to ensure cooperation between the EU member states and the European Union neighbors. The main objectives are obviously to build a cooperation area based on stability, on prosperity, on sustainability, and the environmental aspects, as they were also pointed out at the very beginning of this interesting panel, are crucial also for this program. For the next 2021-2027 program, we have started the drafting of the program strategy. The 15 countries are participating, and the main topics are actually following those that have been mentioned today, and therefore the economic development is one of the pillars, I would say, also the previous programming periods that will continue to be there. Specific attention will be put on the environmental aspects. We will have water and water management. We will have circular economy. We will have the energy efficiency. And these are actually the aspects that are there to promote the solid cooperation among the 2 shores of the Mediterranean. The importance for Libya to join, I would say that this program, according to my experience, has proved to be a very good platform to exchange know-how, to share competences, to increase the level of relations between the 2 shores of the Mediterranean and among also the countries belonging to the same shore. Our projects are usually submitted by at least 3 different countries, of which 1 from the northern shore and 1 from the southern shore of the Mediterranean. But we do have projects that involve 7 or 8 different countries. The financial dimension is quite crucial for us. We do have a 200 million euros, around 200 million euros in 14-20. More or less, we will have the same budget for the next programming period. We hope to get more, but the budget is still under negotiation for this program. Projects are aimed to be very, very, cross-border, meaning that our program is not, as I said before, is not willing to solve a specific situation in just one country or one territory, but the objective of this ambitious program is to face common challenges and to identify common solutions. So the idea is to work together to have an impact in all the territories involved in the project, but more widely, the results could benefit also for the entire program area. Having said this, I would like to give my availability for our Libyan colleagues to have also in the future months to organize a bilateral conversation together with also our colleague from the Italian Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Daniele Bosio, in order to have the opportunity to explain better what the program does, the results that we have achieved so far, and the challenges for the future. In this case, I would say that we are available, and it will be a pleasure for us to have Libya among us in the next future. I would like to thank you again. I would like to thank the Italian Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Westmed initiative once again, being actually proving to be a very interesting platform to share views, but also to enhance the dialogue between the shores. Thank you.
Thank you, Aldo. And thank you for this overview. And before trying to give back the floor to the other two stakeholders, I know that Daniele Bosio wanted to make a question, to make a statement.
Thank you, Aldo. Please appear back. And I just wanted to underline that the NECBC Med is a very important program, not only because they have money, but also because they have the means, human resources to put people together in common projects, as you said. If we want to, I would like to ask you to make it very clear what are the steps for our friends here, Libyan friends, and also to our my colleagues at the Embassy of Italy in Tripoli, so they could probably help their counterparts to make these steps. We know that, unfortunately, only 2 Southern Shore participants to the Westmed initiative are also part of the NECBC Med. So Libya would be another actor, and it's very important that they access. So just tell us what are the steps that should be done to have this, to access.
Yes, thank you very much, Daniele. Yes, well, I would say that the first step will be to have a framework cooperation agreement with the European Union. I ask also our colleagues from DG Mare if the cooperation framework is set. And this is actually the premises, I would say. After this, the important exercise that our Libyan colleagues could do is to join the meetings that we are having with the other participating countries to draft the next program, even though we have already had 5 meetings and we will have another meeting in the coming weeks. I think it would be important if Libya decides that this program is interesting for the Libyan government to start already participating in the drafting. After the drafting, there will be a commitment, I would say, of the Libyan government to approve actually the content of the document. So we will draft together the document, but then we will send a format letter to each participating countries to, I would say, endorse officially the content of this document, and that will be submitted to the European Commission for its approval. After the program is approved, each partner country, so those countries that belong to the neighborhood, so they are not part of the European Union, will need to sign a financing agreement with the European Commission. That is actually the legal tool that enables then the country to benefit from the funds that are allocated to the program. It is a roadmap that can be defined together, but the first step, I would say, is if you're really interested well, the first thing is we can further talk through the Italian embassy in Tripoli, or and also with the European Commission to see if we can plan to have an informal meeting to describe a little bit the opportunities offered by this program. So at least you have a complete view of this instrument. So I would say that this would be the first thing to do. Then if you like, if you are interested in joining the program, I think that the best scenario would be that you already participate in the drafting of the program. Otherwise, you will have also the possibility to join the program after the program is approved. But I think it would be better if you can have a say when drafting the program strategy, even though we are in an advanced stage, but still there are some key issues that will be decided in the next meetings of the task force, which is the body that consisting of the representatives of the 15 countries that are now taking the decisions on the future program. I hope I have answered your question, Daniele. Otherwise, feel free to ask me additional questions, or if you have any aspect that you would like to me to tackle, let me know.
Thank you. That's very useful. And you mentioned, thank you. It's very useful. You mentioned the Embassy of Italy, who could, of course, help from the outside, because that's not Italian is not an Italian program. But you also mentioned European EU delegation. I'm not sure they are resident in Tripoli. Maybe my colleague Michele Rossi can confirm it. But it's a team work. So and it is. It is not the NECBC NextMed program is not focused only on the maritime issues. It's wider, so it's useful for Libya to become part of the big Mediterranean family where the European Union belongs to. It could be a good opportunity, and we should work even on that, taking advantage of the fact that the managing authority of the NECBC NextMed program is in Italy, is in Sardinia, Cagliari, which is, by the way, in the very center of the Western Mediterranean. So let's take all the stakes. So let's all take all the opportunities available for Libya. Thank you.
Thank you, Daniele. Since we have to close at 11:30 because this room will be available for another conference, before passing the floor to the other two stakeholders, I would like to make sure that we provide the content relevant to the European funding opportunities, which will be accessible for Libyan stakeholders too. And therefore, I would like to thank Thanos Manis of the Westmed Assistance Mechanism, the central team, to be here and to show his presentation.
Thank you, Leonardo. Let me see if the pointer works. Give me a second. So far this morning, we have heard very interesting initiatives taking place at the moment and in the past and for the future on the blue economy sector in order to have a sustainable blue economy. It is really important to understand that collaboration is a major issue to enhance the collaboration between the countries and bring the countries together. And it was really interesting to hear Aldo and the position of the next Internet Next and the opportunity that it gives this for the countries to collaborate, having different project ideas. Now, as Leonardo said, we would like to present some opportunities for project ideas and project development that Libya is currently eligible. They are currently open, so we could invite Libyan entities and stakeholders to collaborate with other Mediterranean countries. So I would like to start with Horizon Europe, where actually we have heard this morning different initiatives in different blue economy sectors. I have to say that it's important to have research and innovation is a main component, an horizontal component actually. So the program aims to give to Europe a new push to global positioning, as the Commissioner said. And the biggest and most ambitious EU research and innovation program is Horizon 2020. We have entered in a new programming period, which is the new Horizon Europe structure. It's a little bit different from the previous one, but I would like to focus mainly on Pillar 2, where we have different clusters of interest, which are related to underwater cultural heritage, as we heard this morning from the marine biologist is really important regarding ocean health. We have the digital and industry and space, climate, energy and mobility, and the food and bioeconomy, and natural resources. As we heard so far, we have heard a lot of initiatives on fisheries and aquaculture. So the Horizon 2020 is following 6 Commission priorities for the next period. Of course, the European Green Deal is the main thing to follow and striving to the first climate neutral continent of Europe to fit to the digital age, to bring people together, to provide social opportunities and push for European democracy. I would like to focus a little bit on the political context to overview the key policy areas that Horizon 2020 is bringing. So the EU main priorities is the European Green Deal to make Europe carbon neutral by 2050. This is the main target. The recovery and resilience plan of the countries is also in a parallel action with the main policy objectives is the climate neutrality, circular economy, zero pollution, farm to fork, biodiversity, and as I said, the digital transformation. The Horizon Europe is currently open, as I said, and about 100 billion for research and innovation program, but also there are other calls that are currently open, as DG Mare, Mr. Emmanuel Plenzuelo said before, the European Maritime Fisheries and Aquaculture Fund, that I will come to that later on. I will focus a little bit on the European Green Deal and the blue economy sectors. Actually, is a way to do things differently, do new things around the main sectors of blue economy to promote the sustainable blue economy. So we are focusing on marine renewable energies, green shipping, sustainable fishing, aquaculture, biotechnologies, but also sustainable tourism. And I will come back to that through the MFAF program. The European Green Deal and blue economy sectors are trying to identify integrated approaches in order to reduce any negative externalities and increase their resilience. And of course, having always in mind the environmental approach and the nature protection. Important is to consider also the blue skills and how this can be a mechanism in order to promote the sustainable blue economy. I said before, this call of Horizon Europe and under Pillar 2 has specific objectives under the different clusters in order to strengthen the impact of research and innovation. SMEs are playing a crucial role actually in all this effort, and that's why it was really important to hear earlier today from Leonardo and the Westmed assistance mechanism efforts towards a cluster alliance in the region, which is really important to enhance the efforts and promote investment in blue economy. So we have 5 mission areas, as I said before, for adaptation to climate change, soil health, food, climate neutral and smart cities. But as we see under cluster 6, we have the healthy oceans, seas, coastal and inland waters. Very quickly, I would like to present here a few examples of ongoing calls that are currently open, and I think that a lot of consortia will be presented. It's a very competitive call, but I think it's really important to include Libyan entities and the Libyan stakeholders to come to contact partners from the European member states to get involved. So we see that we have calls that touch different sectors, as said before, which is fisheries, we have aquaculture, biodiversity, protection of ecosystems, but also we have digital transformation and new emerging technologies. We see that also marine protected areas are playing a crucial role, so it's something to consider. I would like to give very quickly a view of the eligibility, because it's really important for this kind of calls to understand the eligibility criteria. So we see that different entities can participate, either university, research centers, SMEs, industries, clusters, or associations. We need at least one independent legal entity to be established from member state, and at least 2 other independent legal entities that could be established either in a different member state or an associated country. Gender issue is also really important, and the proposals must have a gender equality plan covering minimum process-related requirements. And who is eligible for funding? As said before, EU countries and the member states are really important, of course, including their outermost regions, but also non-EU countries. And there is a specific part in the call where define the countries that are eligible, and Libya is among these. So this is really important to consider right now, because it offers a great opportunity to develop and promote sustainable blue economy further. Quickly, I would like to go to the very recent open call of European Maritime Fisheries and Aquaculture Fund. It is a call that opened for different sea basins, the Atlantic Sea Basin, the Mediterranean, but also the Black Sea. The focus of the Mediterranean Sea Basin is on tourism. So actually this call for proposal is to boost regional cooperation for sustainable blue economy. The deadline is the 12th of January. The main objective of the Mediterranean and the Western Mediterranean Sea Basin is the recovery of coastal and maritime tourism. Projects have to develop and provide an integrated approach in order to rebuild coastal and maritime tourism, focusing on innovation and destination management, and design the smart ecotourism packages. Very quickly, I would like to say where these calls should be focused is on supporting tourism stakeholders to tap into the growing ecotourism and niche tourism market, boosting the innovation and digitalization. We see that digitalization is a very crucial component for this time, and we see that during all this COVID crisis, but also improving the business environment for tourism SMEs, so to mobilize private and public investments, enhance socioeconomic and market intelligence to create, let's say, the ecosystem, a good ecosystem in order to promote for business environment. The duration of the calls of the project for this call will be between 2 and 3 years, and the total budget range between 700K and €1 million per project. Who is eligible for the funding? Legal entities, public or private, established in one of the eligible countries of the member states, but also to be part of the sea basin strategies, and Libya, as we said, is among that as it's part of the Westmed initiative. The partnership and how to build a consortia, proposals must be submitted in a consortium of at least 4 applicants. And it is important that we need at least 2 EU member states and 1 eligible from non-EU countries. We need at least one partner from the private sector. That could be a business entity or an association, preferably in the coastal and maritime tourism. And here it is also another important point that we need at least 1 local, regional, or city level public authority with competence relating to coastal and maritime tourism sector activities. I would like to close, but consider these opportunities are really important, are open at the moment. So it's a very great opportunity also for Libyan colleagues, but also for all the Mediterranean countries to go forward. Thank you very much.
Thanks to you, Thanos. Very useful also this overview about the funding calls and what is immediately to be applicable also for Tunisian for Libyan stakeholders, for Tunisian stakeholders, and all Southern Shore countries with which we also as assistance mechanisms like to undertake activities. I don't know whether Michela Cariglia is still with us. If so, I would like to give her the floor, and then Mr. Al-Nutta. Michela?
Yes, I am. Thank you. Good morning, everybody, and thank you for your kind attention. I will be very quickly in my presentation, and what I would like to focus on is the possibility to enhance and to cooperate through the improvement of the skills. I represent a consortium that is partnered with Eiead Food, the European Agency for Technologies and Innovation, and we establish a platform that connects the improvement of skills and through upskills and reskills from aquaculture to blue economy. And if is it allow me to share the screen, I would like just to give you an overview about what the platform is and how we can we build up a cooperation. Starting from the basis that we have, let me say, common enemies like bureaucracy, lack of coordination in policies, and lack of knowledge in the possibilities of integrated multi-trophic aquaculture, and lack of vision of integration of blue, green, and circular economy. We create this platform in order to answer to the challenges and needs of the blue economy sector. And we create this platform that is already available, that match and plug in the upskill and reskills in aquaculture field through the artificial intelligence, in order to allow to the people, including women and people with special needs, to find the possibility of job placement, but also to change, let me say, work, and to develop more sustainable production, starting from aquaculture as belonging of the family of the blue economy. And this is the conceptual map that we developed through the platform, that starts from the skills, and we focus on what do the people know and know to do, and how can they use their knowledge and in sustainable aquaculture as part of the JPD in the immediate future. And to that we move to the tech, because there is the possibility to put the CV into the platform, and the CV will be, let me say, mixed by the artificial intelligence engine. And then there is the creation of the map of the possible of job placement in the area, and moving to another area or to another sector. And in this way, we achieve the objective of bioremediation, circular economy approach, capitalization of skills toward a healthy and sustainable development. What we do is to give to aquaculture an overview related to the process phase that is not only the traditional, let me say, related to healthy or to farm to fork and ready to eat, but also to focus on the extraction of bioactive compound or process of waste from fish and algae, to recover net and plastic, and to the integration of the, let me say, bioactive coming from the aquaculture and the sea toward biofertilizer, nutraceutical, and cosmetic. The platform is available. We look to the future in this way, and focusing on the valorization of the knowledge and competencies for women, even in traditional sector toward sustainability. I'm available at this address, and we're looking forward to cooperate with all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Michela, and congratulations for your achievements in this field. Mr. Al-Nutta, if you are with us connected, please describe your activities and your interest in cooperation, if possible. Thank you.
Yes, hello. Do you hear me?
Yes, we hear you very well. Please go ahead.
Yes. Comunque, I thank you very much for you invite me to speak. In the same time, we hope that on the blue economy to be reply at least once in year, not one time and closed, and it have no sense. Comunque adesso io parlo in italiano. Quello che vorrei dire è che esiste un protocollo d'intesa sulla cooperazione italo-libico, è stato questo al 19 gennaio 2012. È stato molto importante perché hai partecipato al gruppo di esperti della Marine World, cioè diciamo della pesca, autorità della pesca, insieme con un grande gruppo di autorità italiana di Sicilia, con il presidente Giovanni Tompiolo, che è morto un anno fa, purtroppo. Comunque, questa qua hanno parlato, hanno studiato tantissimo e hanno arrivato a conclusioni di studio sulla pesca nel Mediterraneo. Specialmente in Libia, e vogliamo sapere la quantità e la qualità di questa pesce. Noi abbiamo un pesce specialmente in Golfo di Sirte, muoie e nessuno la pesca. E purtroppo con l'inquinamento che non abbiamo nessuna tecnologia per controllare tutte, diciamo, le navi che passano per il Mediterraneo e che inquinano, specialmente da zavorra, inquinano diciamo, di fognatura, eccetera. Che tutta la spugna, che è stata la prima qualità, è morta quasi. Noi vogliamo dalla parte italiana, noi bisogna, diciamo, di tecnologia. Vogliamo dalla parte italiana che aiuta a noi in questo campo, perché questa manca tantissimo. E purtroppo il Mediterraneo è di tutti i paesi del Mediterraneo, perché questo Mediterraneo, secondo lo studio, si cambia ogni 50 anni, 60 anni. Allora, sia la fognatura, specialmente che noi abbiamo anche diciamo, tecnici che tutti, diciamo, vanno a mare, almeno studiano questa cosa, aiutano sia dal parte dell'inquinamento, diciamo, sia il parte tramite satelliti, tramite diciamo, maggior parte di tecnologia di satelliti, controllare le navi che passano per il Mediterraneo. Questa per tutti quanti del Mediterraneo. Più di questo noi chiediamo chiediamo di costruzioni e manutenzione di navi, diciamo, da barca da pesca, che noi non l'abbiamo, e sviluppamento e mantenimento del porto di Libia, almeno un gruppo di tecnici, di esperti che vengano là e vedono un po' come la situazione e fanno un rapporto, noi diamo al governo e il governo la studia, perché questo è molto importante. Come vi ho detto, noi siamo bisogno di questa tecnologia. Poi sviluppo e poi la formazione della ricerca. Noi abbiamo molti che sono diplomati di istituti nautici e ancora non hanno un'esperienza, specialmente pratica di tecnologia, che devono fare gli esami, che per essere, diciamo, capitano di pesca, che deve essere prima ufficiale, secondo ufficiale, poi come macchinista, diciamo, macchinista, prima macchinista, eccetera, eccetera. Allora, almeno questa qua vogliamo preparare questa qua, e voi avete anche un centro di ricerca. Noi vogliamo questo aiuto già, centro di ricerca libica di Tajura, cooperato con centro di ricerca italiana a Marsala del Vallo. E noi vogliamo questa ricerca insieme, perché questo è il bene per tutti i paesi. Poi come paesi, diciamo, come costa è lungo 2000 km quasi. Allora ci sono tanti porti che noi possiamo sfruttarla. Dico porti significa hanno protezioni del vento, delle onde, eccetera, per fare acquacoltura, perché non c'è inquinamento, diciamo, fuori di Tripoli, dove ci sono deserti, eccetera, vicino al mare. È stato uno studio e purtroppo poi non abbiamo fatto più. Questo è molto importante per l'acquacoltura, che noi non l'abbiamo. Diciamo, Italia ha fatto protocolli di intesa con l'Unione Tunisina nel 2000. 2001 hanno fatto protocollo di intesa con la Camera di Pesca in Marocco. Ha fatto tanti altri, diciamo, agreement, un accordo che hanno fatto tanti con altri paesi. Noi vogliamo almeno un buon interesse per la Libia, e questo è veramente molto importante. Si dà tutta questa tecnologia che è mancante da noi. Questo, diciamo, dal punto di vista di pesca. Io ho questa memorandum intesa, diciamo, protocollo di intesa, che è stato io come esperto e consulente marittimo di ex ministro, stato con ministro, diciamo, della pesca, adesso sono come consiglieri soltanto, ma non lavoro col governo, sono in pensioni. Comunque chiedono ogni tanto la mia barriere, e veramente io voglio che questo protocollo dovete, almeno se volete, manda una copia, così volete studiarlo e almeno metti in atto. E spero che voi fate altre conferenze con quali discutiamo, e adesso, come io ho capito, che devono formare un comitato che devono visitare l'Italia per incontrare gli imprenditori italiani, devono fare holding company insieme con la Camera di Commercio italo-libico e insieme con diciamo il Ministero della Pesca, può darsi che viene lui, ancora non è stato stabilito. Frattempo, l'8 dicembre devono fare una riunione nell'Iptismania, diciamo il Homs, può darsi che questa qua è la città invece di Tripoli, ancora non è stata stabilita, stanno studiando per discutere tutto questo fra l'Italia e la Libia nel campo di esperti marittimi. E questa è una grande, diciamo, apertura, e spero che voi la rendete in conto. Questo dal punto di vista, diciamo, di marina. Dal punto di vista di turismo, come voi avete fatti, c'è Settimo Seferos, questo è un oratorio romano e libico, e questa qua ha governato la Libia nel 1939 e 211
Mr. Nuta, sorry for interrupting you because we have to close in a really few minutes. So if you can please shorten, so come quick to a conclusion. We have your contact details that we shall make available to the other stakeholders, but please, in 2 minutes, please conclude. Thank you.
Ok. Allora, I want to say, voglio dire che con questa, diciamo, fatto una grandissima città dove c'è una piazza diciamo, di corsa di cavalli, più un teatro di 15.000 persone con quale che possono fare, e noi vogliamo il vostro aiuto nella scavatura, nella, diciamo, tante cose per cadere, c'è la chiesa, c'è il battesimo, eccetera. Almeno vengono tecnici, perché da noi non abbiamo questi tecnici che fanno concimento, altri che non vale la pena. Questo tutto, io non vorrei allargare il mio discorso. Grazie per la vostra pazienza di ascoltarmi. Scusi se ho perso questo tempo di voi, ma io sempre, diciamo, vorrei che l'Italia, diciamo, tanti che hanno studiato in Italia, laureato in Italia, specializzato in Italia, vorrei che l'Italia sarà, diciamo, un aiuto da parte, diciamo, della Libia. Grazie, buongiorno.
Grazie dottore, niente di cui scusarsi, anzi grazie a lei perché evidentemente ha dato concretezza anche per parte libica a quello che sono naturalmente delle aree di cooperazione anche abbastanza definite su questo, e sulle quali abbiamo visto ci sono anche dei finanziamenti europei da cui poter accedere. Peraltro noi come meccanismo di assistenza stiamo anche diciamo seguendo quello che l'Agenzia Italiana di Cooperazione allo Sviluppo, agenzia di Tunisi, sede di Tunisi, competente per tutta la regione, sta prevedendo per il paese. A questo punto io direi che lascerei la parola a Daniele Bosio per la chiusura e ringrazio naturalmente tutti coloro che sono intervenuti sia in presenza che naturalmente anche online. Prego Daniele.
Grazie, molto brevemente perché abbiamo poco tempo. È stato effettivamente molto produttivo questo scambio di idee. It was very productive. This exchange of ideas was very productive because it was actually new. We have not been talking with Libya on maritime affairs. There are a lot of opportunities which open in front of us, and it's very important that we try to exploit, use all opportunities, all instruments that we have, all tools that we have at our disposal. I don't think only to direct cooperation between Italy and Libya. We should have access to the EU funding programs, put Libya into a network of cooperation in the Mediterranean. We don't want to be exclusive. We should not be exclusive. We should play a teamwork in the Mediterranean. Of course, the friendship that links Italy and Libya is very important. It will be an engine for such cooperation. And we are in the first line. So you have friends, you saw it today, you have friends in all sectors of the blue economy. And I believe it is one of those area of the future development which are a little bit virgin, new in Libya, and where there are actually enormous opportunities. We should try not to be greedy and eat everything. We should plan, focus, and try to identify the best of these opportunities. I know that there will be soon in December another conference on the blue economy between and the cooperation between Italy and Libya in the blue economy in Tripoli. We will try to organize it also within the Westmed initiative, possibly by developing, arranging a hybrid event also, so to enlarge as much as possible the participation from Italian stakeholders. And this would be another element for encouraging relationship and networking between those who really make the economy, the entrepreneurs, researchers, innovators, not me, possibly much better Leonardo, but we have to create, we only have to create the structures, the pathways, but we have to put the people together.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. I only add that presentations from Thanos Manis, from Michela Cariglia, and from Assoitica Giuseppe Palma will be shared in the next days. Thank you.